Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today is all about the Simon Says Stamp April 2019 card kit. I decided to make a bunch of cards with this card kit just to show you what all you could do with a kit. And I know sometimes you get things, you know, purchase something, you go, okay, now what am I going to do with it? So here I'm going to show you a bunch of different things. I cut out the little rain boot from some Bristol cardstock, and I'm using my Arteza watercolor pencils. And I'm first just putting on some color, and then I'm spreading it out with my Arteza water brush. I really love the Arteza water brushes. They come in a set of 5. You got a bunch of different sizes, and the barrels are really big. They hold a lot of water, and so these are some of my favorite. I end up using the fine tip mostly, but they're really great brushes. So if you're looking for some water brushes, I highly recommend those, and I'll have them linked down below. So I put some pink on, and then I went and did on the flowers, and then I went and did some green, and then I'm going back with some yellow on the top of the flowers and some darker green on the boots. And so now I'm doing like a teal color, darker green on the leaves, and now I'm doing a teal color on the boots. So I'm just spreading it in the darkest areas, and then I will use the water brush to smooth it out and spread it to where I want it to be lighter. Now, I did these water boots for a card, and I forgot to film that card. And then it's not in my ending either, where I go back through and show you the insides and outsides of the cards. You will see it in a photo at the very end of the video, because my mom took it home with her, and I didn't think about including it in my final segment of this video. So you'll see a sneak glimpse of it in the very end when I do show of photos of all the cards made. Okay, so this one, I really love this black gingham pattern paper that was in the kit. It was part of the paper stack, and this large Hello Darling stamp set. So I stamped it with some red Simon Says stamp ink. I can't remember which one I used. I'm going to link to just all of Simon's ink. I love Simon's ink. They're good inks. So I left it in my stamp positioner, and I re-stamped it with clear the sticky ink. I use Simon's too, or Versamark, whatever you have. And then I put clear embossing powder over it, and it just really popped that sentiment off of that black gingham. And I just thought that red on top of the black gingham was really cute, and I put a black border around it. And I'm going to finish it off with some of the stickers from the kit, as well as some sequins that I have. I think they're Little Things by Lucy's Iridescent sequin mix, which in that you get a mix of 6mm, 4mm, 2mm. It's a bunch of different size sequin mix, so it's a really good thing to have. I like to cover all my stuff with a sparkle. This is Nuvo's Aqua Shimmer. And then if you go back over it with glossy accents, it really locks in that sparkle and just enhances it, I think. So I just dot around some glue and then use my Marvy jewel picker to pick up the sequins and put them in place. And then I just put the few extra ones back. And then here is where I'm going over that with glossy accents. I do that last so I can set it aside to dry. And then we'll move on to the next card. So I wanted to do some stamping with the flower pots and flowers that are in the stamp set. And sorry, that's kind of a bad lighting here. We've had some cloudy days and stuff, so my lighting's not been terrific, but I still think you can see everything well. And so I'm just inking up the flower pot in some dark chocolate ink, and then I'm covering it to try and look like the stems are coming out of the flower pot. I didn't do such a great job on the first one. There's a little bitty gap between the flower pot and the stem, but it's all good. It still looks good. And I did this on some Bristol cardstock too, because I'm going to take my Arteza watercolor pencil in blue, and I'm going to go around the flowers and then just spread it with water to give it some background. And I'm also going to do some like dirt that the pot is setting in, so it gives it some ground. And because this is some textured paper, I have to stamp this very solid Hello Spring stamp multiple times to get it solid. So stamp positioning tools are a must when you're doing that. So here I am just lightly putting in that pencil, and then I'll use my water brush again to spread that around. And it just gives it a nice soft, background behind the flowers. And then I'm going to, for the center of my flowers, I'm going to take some Jelly Roll sparkle pins, Stardust pins, and I'm just going to make some yellow dots in the center, and I do like a kind of a peachy dot in one. And then I'm going to go over that with my glossy accents to lock that in. All right, so that part of that is finished. And so I'm flipping through here trying to decide what kind of paper I'm going to put with this. And I decided there's a paper with flower pots in it, although the flower pots have succulents in it. I liked it was a flower pot, and then I had a flower pot. So I'm going to take a scalloped oval die, and I'm just going to cut that out, and that's going to be a frame for my image that I made. And I'm going to pop that frame up on some foam tape. And just do that all around. This is a little bit of a thinner of a cardstock, so I put some extra pieces in the corners just to give it more stability. And I thought it was really cute that it stood up off of it, so it gave it some depth to the front of the card and really framed out my little stamped image good. Next, I'll attach this to a top folding A2 size card with some Nuvo adhesive. I really love Nuvo liquid adhesive. The nozzle never clogs, and it is really good adhesive, and you get just that little bitty time of wiggle to get things straight. So here I am topping that off with the glossy accents, and I will set that aside to dry. Okay, so for the next card, this Home Sweet Home was really a larger sheet. This paper pad is like 6 by 8, and so this was like a whole sheet, but I decided to cut it down just to that Home Sweet Home part. There's a little bit of cut off flowers down at the bottom, but I didn't mind that. And I framed it out with some chocolate colored cardstock, and then used some of the other pattern paper over on the side. And I'm going to use from the sticker pack some of the little potted succulents to decorate that. And then I will finish it with some Nuvo gold glitter drops. So that was a very quick and easy card. These were all very quick and easy. It didn't take me no time at all to put these together. I did 9 cards total, and I think I had 2 hours of filming time total. It was probably actually a little bit less than that, because one time I left my camera going and forgot to turn it off when I walked away to do something else. So probably less than 2 hours to make 9 cards. So that's pretty good. And that's decorating the inside and outside. So right now we're just doing the outsides of the flowers. Of the cards. And then later on in the video, I will show you all my insides that I made. Okay, that finishes off this card, and we'll set that aside to dry. Okay, so this next one was also a full page design, but I was able to cut it out to use the entire design, and because there was a lot of just empty space around, so I was able to trim out the whole image. And so I'm gonna put that also on some chocolate cardstock, and I am going to use one of the stickers from the kit and put it on the bottom. It says Love Grows Here. And then I'm going to use my Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen and go over the flowers and the metal parts of the little trailer. And then I'm going to coat the flowers in glossy accents so they stand up off the page and give some extra gloss, shine, and dimension. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to add some of the blue Nuvo drops that come in the kit. And these are vintage drops, so they look shiny right now, but they do dry with that matte finish, which is what the vintage drops are supposed to do. And so I'll set that aside to dry. That will finish off that card. So now I'm going to take one of the cut apart sheets and make a card with it. I like the thank you one. I like the wood grain to it. And so I wanted to back it with some blue because I'm using that yellow paper that has a blue flower in it. So I wanted to bring out that blue flower. So I just set that on top of some blue paper and just marked where I needed to cut and didn't do any measurements. And so I just used my pencil marks to cut by. And I'm going to put that on that yellow and decided to use this little leftover strip of that black and white gingham because I just really love that. And put that in the middle. And then I'm going to pop up that thank you panel that I made on some foam tape and put it in the middle. And then I will finish that off with, again, some Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen on the flowers and coat that with the glossy accents. And then I will add the blue Nuvo Vintage drops. And then I will set that aside to dry. And then we'll move on to the next card. So as you see, these cards come together very quickly and easily. You know, they give you so many elements to just really make quick cards with these cut apart pieces in the paper pack, you know, or you can do, you know, stamped cards with this is a 6x8 stamp set, very large stamp set. It has lots and lots of fun sentiments in it. I didn't use anywhere near all the sentiments in it. Matter of fact, I think I only used 2. And so lots of great things to use, so many combinations of stuff. And I still had enough leftover product to make at least 2 or 3 more cards with the cardstock that I still had left over. Okay, so here I'm using the Sending Sunshine, and there's some border stamps in this kit. So I decided to use some border stamps and some more inks from Simon and the bicycle. I really had to use the bicycle. I love the bicycle stamp in this. And so here I'm going back with I think that's Sunkiss on that border stamp. And I'm using my Jelly Roll Sakura Yellow, and I'm filling in that Sending Sunshine with that Stardust pen, and it gives it the most fun, shimmery look to that. It's so hard to pick that up on camera, but in person, it is just gorgeous. I love it. And I stamped that with chocolate ink, by the way, and so the yellow and the chocolate look so good together. And so I used my bicycle frame, again, my scalloped oval die, and that bicycle paper, and so I framed that out. And that's got foam tape dimension in it too. And there was a little bit of space down at the bottom, so there was a little sticker that said "Enjoy today," so I thought that fit with it, and just rolled with that. Okay, so my next one, I really wanted to layer together a bunch of these pretty papers because the papers in this pack were so pretty. So I used a double-stitched rectangle die. I think these are some honeybee dies. And cut out some of these different pattern papers. And I matted some of them with the chocolate cardstock. And I really think this turned out really cute, and it really showcased the pattern papers in this kit. And that pink is a little bit off of that flower cart piece that I cut down. It was the bottom section of that. So I thought that just brought out some of the pinks in the papers and worked really well with my little design here. And here I go again, just taking some chocolate cardstock and putting my paper on there and just marking it with pencil, and not worrying about measurements. My Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, my favorite liquid adhesive. I've gotten where I use liquid adhesive now more than I use tape runner. I think it's a lot easier to use. And like I said, you get that wiggle time to make sure that you get things as straight as you eyeball everything. So as straight as my eyeball can get it anyway. And so I popped up this last piece on some foam tape. And that love sticker came out of off the sticker sheet in a set. And so I'm going to coat it with my Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen and go over it with the glossy accents. And then I will add some of those blue vintage Nuvo drops. And then I will set that one aside to dry. Okay, so here I decided I wanted to do some paper piecing with the RAINBOOT die. And so I cut it out several times, one out of a scrap of that black gingham that I had left, and then out of some green cardstock, and then a scrap of that yellow flower print cardstock that I had left. So you just cut it out with as many different papers as you want to use, and then you just kind of cut out what you want. Obviously my gingham is my base layer. And then I just cut everything else out. The green, I decided to leave the flowers in it, not just try to cut out the little stems. And that way it gave more dimension to the flower itself whenever I put the flower on top. So this is really quick and easy to do. My little sidekick, I love that little cutter. It cuts everything out great. And I can have it right there on my desktop. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I can move it easy. Sidekick is a great investment, and I'll have that link down below. I'm going to link all the kit contents, and then I will link to the Simon ink page and some of the other things I use down in the video description below. So I decided to take my Memento Tuxedo Black marker to make the sole of my ring boots and to kind of outline a little bit. And it's really easy to do because the die makes an indentation. And so I can just put those details back into the boots and the leaves in the flowers. And I think that turned out really cute. So now we will make a card, doing some more of the pattern papers. There was this large, kind of a peachy pink gingham paper. And so I used a banner die and cut out a banner, and I'm going to back that with some chocolate, and then I'm also a scrap from that striped paper that I used earlier. Put that on the bottom. I'm going to separate it with a scrap from that Home Sweet Home piece that had the whitewash wood grain texture on it. So that's my separator piece, and then I'm popping that up on some foam tape. And then I'm going to just glue flat my little rain boots. And then I will use a sticker from the set called just fresh cut flowers and put that on the front. So in the inside, you can make it any kind of card that you want. So I'm going to add the rain boot sticker and some more stickers from the set. And then as I said, it's still very non-committal as to the type of card it is, so you can handwrite in there for, any occasion. I went over all the flowers with my Aqua Shimmer pen, and then again with the glossy accents, and then final touches is adding some of the Nuvo drops, and then I'll set that aside to dry. Okay, I wanted to do one final look at all the cards I made with the card kit. Here's that last one that I did, and the glossy accents are all dry over the sparkly stuff that I put over the flowers. I think that turned out really cute. There's the stickers I put on the inside. Thank you card. Here's that inside. Hello Spring. A little bit of a watercolor look there. This Hello Darling. It's a little bit difficult to see on the camera, but it looks really cute in person, that Hello Darling on that gingham background. And then there's the inside. And then here's this bicycle card. And I thought this one turned out really cute with all the layers. And there's the inside. And then I did make one larger card. I have new neighbors that moved in across the street. I think I may give this to them with a bottle of wine when we go introduce ourselves. And this is everything that I had left over. I did not use any of the pink cardstock. I used some of the blue. I used all of the ivory. And then out of the pattern paper, I have this full sheet left and this full sheet left, and then a bunch of scraps, and then this is what I have left out of the stickers. So, well used, but I think I probably could get 2 or 3 more cards out of this, maybe more. So you can see that that these card kits are a tremendous value, because I also still have the die, and I still have lots left of this Nuvo in this little bitty bottle. There's lots in there. So it's a great value, and I hope you enjoyed walking through making cards with the Simon Says Stamp April 2019 card kit. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I forgot this one. I had it sitting over there to dry on the other side of the desk, because I had all this fun shimmer on here and put lots of glossy accents and had some Nuvo drops. So I don't know if you can see that shine and shimmer. But anyway, so that is the last card, and I haven't decorated the inside of that, so I will do that. I will have final photos here at the end, and I appreciate you watching, subscribing, and thumbs upping. It really helps me move my channel forward. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon in the next video.